a spectacular movie with grand adventure. Hold on. We gotta take a step back. Wicked is a movie that was based on a musical that was based on a book. Can a movie translate from the musical version into the movie version? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. This is a non-spoiler review. There were 3 comments after my screening last night, and at the end I heard these 3 comments, so we're gonna use those 3 comments as the anchor points for this non-spoiler review. The first comment that I heard as soon as the movie finished was a woman passed by and she said, "Either I was sobbing or my mouth was agape the entire movie." I completely resonate with that sentiment. From the moment the movie started, which it's so constructed for success, it makes the audience who knows the story as well as newcomers immediately hooked with the visuals of how they're starting. And they sort of use flashbacks to kind of catch us up to what's going on in this amazing sequence that they do at the very start of the movie. I had 3 moments in the movie that really were the emotional highlights. There's one moment in the middle when the Oz Dust Ball, and I felt so exposed because you relate to the character Elphaba, who is this person who was born with green skin. It was not her own doing, and she has been ridiculed her entire life and othered because of it, and has had to live life with that, carrying that baggage with her. And she sort of built this armor, this stoic armor of "you can't touch me." When she's at this Ozdust Ball, I felt with how other people were looking at her, I felt I was her, and that's what the audience, that's obviously how the scene is constructed, that you relate to her, and I felt naked, I felt vulnerable, I felt ridiculed by all these people, and yet so simultaneously strong. I tear up a lot, and I get in touch with what I'm watching. I have like a really high emotional connection with what I watch. And this was fully on the spectrum, all the way to the extreme of sobbing. I could not catch my breath. I put my head in my face, my hand in my face in my hands. The second moment that really shook me to my core and the entire audience, because what was really wonderful is kind of like a Broadway show, a musical. If you've never been to a theater performance, people applaud after some of the numbers if it was like a really spectacular moment or they really enjoyed the performance. And in the audience of these musical theater people, which everyone was respectful, no one was singing, we applauded for the numbers, and the number that made everyone just scream, and my mouth was truly not just agape, it broke through the IMAX floor into the basement of the building, because when she finally sings "Defying Gravity," what they did on screen leveled her up to the point of a superhero. I literally clenched up, and I thought that it was like an Avengers event where she was doing all this amazing stuff on screen, and I thought, she's a superpower. She is a superhuman, and she's a superhero. Y'all, I was like, I love superheroes, I love movies, I love singing, I love confidence, I love messaging, I love a good sob story, I love a little growth story. And all of it came together, and I was like, yeah, no, you can take me now, but don't actually take me. The second quote was, "They need to release part 2 tomorrow," because the third emotion that I felt in the movie was, as soon as it finished, I started tearing. Not sobbing, but tearing, because we have to wait this year for the movie to come out, because part 2 comes out next year. The movie ended and I wanted to see more. It's really touching and precious that a movie can accomplish that much. I mean, they had 2 hours and 40 minutes to do it, and I wanted more. I did not want to leave Oz. I wanted to learn everyone's backstory. That's a real feat, to have someone sit in a chair for 3 hours and be like, "No, that wasn't enough. Can I get a second? Do you guys do you do refills?" The third comment that someone said was, "I wonder what Wicked is like sober." This comment means a lot because there's a huge Wicked hype, and deservedly so, because the amount of absolute, like, it was a spectacle on screen. It was colorful explosions and emotional core. It was everything you could ask for and more. We always have to think like from our entertainment and fan side, and then also our business side. So I like to think about, how could this have been different or better? And so I think that's a sobering thought. I wonder what Wicked is like sober, because I think a lot of us have this fanaticism and super fans, and I think a lot of people who are gonna click on this video or click on other reviews are the ones who want to hear only positive things, and I do have positive things to say, and I think there are some things that I wish could be different, but I can't make a true assessment about it yet. I'm gonna give you some thoughts in the spoiler review when that comes out, but it's hard to make a full assessment on this movie because it's a two-parter. So we're at a cliffhanger. The story needs to be continued. When I watched Infinity War, I could not make a decision about the story, and everyone's like, this is the greatest movie ever. And I said, well, pause. We have to see if they stick the landing. Spoiler alert, they did. We have to see if Wicked sticks the landing. That's so funny because she ends it flying. They're not cliff hanging, they're cliff flying, you know, defying gravity. And you're like, wow, that's it, this is the best movie ever. I'm like, well, we have to see what comes next because that also is part of this story, you understand? Ariana Grande, amazing. Cynthia Erivo, amazing. Bowen took so much amazing moments. He was so hilarious, and I think that the direction was amazing. Jon Chu really knew what he was doing in crafting the story that we all know and love and making it something that was even more heightened. I wanted to see a little bit more from some people, but I think because the movie is it seems like a 5-hour story and we only saw 2.5, it's hard to say like, oh, they don't know their character yet. I could see inklings of it throughout the movie, but I wanted more. Honestly, the same kind of charm as a sort of Wizard of Oz. When the movie started, you entered into a world, and when it ended, you left that world. And that was the same feeling I had with Wizard of Oz and other amazing cinematic masterpieces. I'm so excited for part 2. And again, this is the non-spoiler, so we have a lot more to say in the spoiler. Okay, so I will check you out in that video. And for now, you can check out a bunch of more videos that are Wizard of Oz and Wicked down below. I'll link a bunch more here. And thanks so much for watching. And I'm so excited to hear your thoughts down below. Ciao!